Okay everybody, welcome to today's video, and today we have Luna, which is our tune-up horse, and we will be doing some exercises that are going to be single hand exercises or more of a neck reining exercise, and we're going to be using a shanked Hackamore. Okay everybody, we've got a shanked Hackamore and we're going to give that a test. The whole idea of this is going to work like a reined horse, or a what you would use is shanked bit. So it's actually going to work off of indirect pressure, which is the pressure right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the controls that I will be using on the ground and make sure she's cool with it as well as I'm cool with it. All right, so a horse should give 2 direct rein pressure. And even with a shank, it's going to put pressure right here, and it's also going to put pressure right here and a pressure right here. Now remember, the length of the shank, each inch means 5 additional inches of pressure. So I'm looking at about, or 5 additional pounds of pressure. So I'm looking at about, 10 extra pounds of pressure right here. But I want to make sure she gives her head completely. So a direct rein approach, she gives her head. Now that wasn't as nice as I would like it. So I'm going to just do that a few more times. I'm just going to reach with my thumb and my forefinger. I'm going to keep my hand up. There we go. So now I know she'll use that direct. And I'm going to do that again on the other side. Now, the next thing I want to do is make sure that she remembers our buttons, because we are primarily going to be working in the saddle using our legs. So this is what the commands are going to be. Button number 1 is in front of the girth. Button number 2 is basically right at the girth. And button number 3 is going to be behind the girth. Button number 1, forehand. Number 2, rib cage. Number 3, hindquarters. And so we can test this on the ground. So, but with button number 1, we actually, remember, what we're going to do is we're actually doing an indirect rein. So we're going to get her to actually move that rein by bouncing it on her mouth, or on her, on her neck right here. So I'm going to bounce it, and I'm going to push button number 1. Come on. There we go. And I'm looking for a cross in the front, cross in the front, cross in the front. There we go. So I'm actually using my hand kind of over top of her right there to get button number 1. Now, I'm going to move to the other side over here, turn her around. Now, every exercise you're going to do on both directions, but another one I want to make sure is I'm going to have my hand up here near my saddle horn. I'm going to pull directly back, and I'm going to ask for her back, back, back. That way I know she'll be giving to that. Okay, now we're going to use button number 3, which is back here, and we're going to ask her to give. So I'm going to tip her nose and push button number 3. Look down at those back, and I want to cross. Come on. And cross, release. Come on. Come on. Ready? And she's a little resistant. There we go. Cross. Come on. Cross. 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 And there we go. So remember, you're going to use button number 3 right here. So that's kind of our review on the ground. And so the next thing we're going to do is move on to the saddle. So thank you so much for joining me on today's video. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe.